Hey guys, Michelle Haggerty with Michi's World of Chaos here. 30 days of vlogging, and today I think it's just basically a vlog of me trying to say positive things when I'm not in a very positive mood. I told myself that I was going to do 30 days of vlogging, and whatever's on my mind, I'm going to speak about it. And I've been catching myself trying to turn whatever I'm doing into the day into something entertaining or whatever. I feel like I'm just not being real. So I took about a couple days off because part of me was like, oh, I don't have anything interesting to say. I don't want to be super cheesy, and I'm not feeling cheesy right now, or I'm feeling kind of grumpy and I don't want people to see me feeling anxious or depressed or stressed, or, oh, that's not going to be as funny as the last one. So I've been overthinking is what's been happening. But the whole point of me doing this 30 days is just to get it out there, get the things out of my mind, and get it out there and get in the practice of just videoing and vlogging and trying not to edit too much. So today, here is my rant. Post-flood recovery and federal grants from the government to help repair the homes in the city of San Marcos, and my thoughts on that. Hopefully it reaches somebody and it makes sense to someone. Today I'd like to talk about the flood victims of San Marcos, Texas. And I think I want to talk about gratitude. I don't know where I am right now, honestly. I wanted to talk about gratitude. I want to change my attitude right now. I'm in a really grumpy mood. I'm trying to turn it around and try to be positive and thankful. And let me go ahead and just say this part real quick about being grateful. I am beyond grateful to all of the citizens of San Marcos, Texas, period. To the people that live here, the city workers, all the volunteers that have helped everybody in 2015, the Memorial Day flood in May of 2015, and the October flood, the Halloween flood of October 30th of 2015. I just have to say that if you are ever going, not like you get to choice of experiencing tragedy in your life, but if it's ever gonna happen, San Marcos is the place to be, because we, hands down, have the best community in all of Texas, and I'm gonna go ahead and say all of the world, because everybody in here, in this town, we love lifting each other up. And so I'm very grateful and very thankful to be part of this town. And I have been in a grumpy mood today because I got some news about, I didn't even get real news, but I've just been thinking about the flood and how long it's been since the flood and how I still get anxiety every time it rains. I see rain clouds in the sky and I'm freaking out. About a week ago, there was a lot of rain and I was already planning, like an escape route. This vlog is really hard because today I'm just upset about how long it is taking for the people that were flooded in 2015, how long it's taking for them to receive the funds to repair their homes. And that sounds like maybe first world problems, or it sounds like I'm complaining. And you're like, Michelle, why are you complaining? Your home was repaired. I guess that's not my point. I mean, I made a video earlier and I was just angry and ranting about how this process is taking so long and there's so much paperwork, and I understand how receiving any money from the government is going to take a lot of paperwork. It's going to take a lot of structure, and I understand that. But when the city of San Marcos is awarded over $25 million for repairs on homes for people that live in San Marcos, there's so much red tape that nobody has seen any of it at all. And it feels like a waiting game. That the city has this money, and I'm not, by saying city, I'm not like complaining about city workers or anything like that. I actually work for the city of San Marcos, so now I understand what it's like being on the inside, and I understand red tape, and I understand protocol and paperwork and bureaucracy and all of that crap. I get it. But what I don't get is the stipulations for people to fix their home on this grant. Is that, you have to be living in the home when it flooded. So if you own a home and you're renting it to somebody, you don't get that money to fix the house. The person renting the house doesn't get that money. Does that seem fair in a place that's mostly rental property? I don't know. You figure that out. You had to be up to date on your mortgage by the time you filled out the grant. And when I first started filling out the grant, I wasn't. We were behind on our mortgage because during the flood, we, like so many other people, were displaced. We paid for a rental home and we paid for our mortgage at the same time. And we had to pay, for construction on the house and things like that, which we did have flood insurance that paid for some of it. But there's a lot of lasting things that we still had to pay on top of that. And I can get into that another day. And if anybody's curious, let me know. Feel free to ask me questions. I don't really know what my point is right now, except for the fact that I'm so grateful for this town, but I am also so stressed out. Not for myself, not for just myself, but for everybody else out there that should have qualified for this grant or is waiting to see if they're qualified for this grant, or people that just gave up and said, screw it, I'm not even applying. I just have to pay out of pocket for my house. It's money that was given to help people. And there's a stipulation in there somewhere, and someone correct me. If I'm wrong, post it. Tell me I'm wrong, show me the documentation, because I still have to read through all this stuff again 3 times more just so I can understand it. If you already repaired your house, you get none of it. If you paid out of pocket, you don't get it. The woman that's helping everybody is being very, very helpful, and the people in the city that are trying to help people fill out all this paperwork a year ago. So it's such intensive paperwork. Hopefully that you didn't lose your paperwork during all of this, right? Hopefully you still had the deed to your, not deed. Oh my gosh, I can't even think. I'm just really frustrated today. And I don't know how to edit this, and I don't know what to say. I just didn't want to post this giant rant that I had earlier about like griping about, lack of money to fix these homes. And I just keep thinking, I drive down my street every day and I see houses that are not done. Like by not done, I mean like there's no siding on a house. Underneath the bottom of my house is all torn up. There's still construction materials on the ground. This is 2 years later. There's just everlasting damage that it feels like it's everlasting. There's people that just left. They couldn't afford to fix it, and they're like, screw it, I'm just gonna sell my house. So every time it rains, people get scared and then they moved away. This process is taking so long that so many people are living in fear of more floods, and the money that was supposed to be there to help them, they don't have it. I know that there's people in 10 times worse conditions than me. I don't even know my point. I'm very frustrated. I'm very frustrated today, and I was trying to turn it around and be like, and talk about how grateful I am. Cause it's stressful how, it's stupid how I feel both. I'm so grateful and so stressed at the same time. And I know that everybody's and I say this too, I'm a Christian, and I know that God is good and God will repair things that are damaged, and God always has a plan. And I know that God has put amazing people in our life to help us through all of that. There were people that threw fundraisers for us to help us pay for rent. People paid for our hotel when we were flooded. We lived in a hotel for a week because we had to find a rent house because we couldn't live. You can't take a newborn into a flooded house, And then people raised money for us because, I was diagnosed with cancer and I had to do chemo, and it was a really crappy time. we didn't get the worst of it. We also didn't get like a mild version of the flood either. So there's a lot of people out there that always need help. I am so grateful for this town, and I hope that I could always pay it forward and be helpful to those in need. And when the floods hit Houston, I was stressed and I was upset that I couldn't go and help people in Houston and Rockport and Port Aransas and all the places over there that I know that are going through this shit that I went through a year ago or 2 years ago or worse. And I'm just praying that they get awarded some grant money to help fix up their lives. And I hope that, God, this is the worst stupid video ever. I keep trying to spin things around and make it super positive, but the truth is I'm just really stressed out. I just got a text telling me that we need to meet about this grant so that we could talk about some things that have changed. You know what that means? That means it's going to take longer. And it's not that I'm just being greedy and stressed for myself. I'm really stressed for a lot of people that I know that are out there that didn't know about the grant. They didn't know how to fill out the paperwork for it. Their house is still halfway done. You know, they don't have doors and windows. I've met some people like that, and it's just like, I'm just really stressed that I'm just really stressed. That's all. And then tomorrow I'll be better. I know I will. That's just how I work. I think it's because it's gloomy today and I'm in a grumpy mood, but I'm gonna figure out how I'm gonna edit this. I think I'm basically just ranting, and I was trying to be positive. I'm gonna eat my food. I'll talk to y'all later. Oh, God, give me words. What was I trying to say? What is my point? I think my point is right now is just to pray for those in need. Pray that, you know, that some swift action is being taken, and that those that need this grant receive it, and receive it tenfold, and are able to fix their house in even better conditions than they were before. And those that are suffering, and pray that that somebody hears them. I think that's it. I want people to pray today. Just pray for everybody that was flooded in 2015 in San Marcos, that they're heard and that they're helped like we were and more, because I know that there's people out there that are not as vocal as we are. And thank your neighbor and thank people that have helped in the past, because I know that I'm beyond eternally grateful for a lot of the people in this town and for just this whole town. And then pray for those that were flooded and on the coast. The end.